How to achieve financial freedom as a freelancer. And what the hell financial freedom is anyway? Today I'm gonna be talking about a very hot topic. Money. As a freelancer, it's very important to understand about finance. Because of the uncertain nature of freelancing, you need to be very eloquent about your finances to be safe and successful as a freelancer. By the end of this video, I promise you that you will know how to protect yourself against times that you cannot find work as a freelancer, what to do to make your money work for you and grow with time. You will also discover the power of being a business and how to take advantage of the law to pay less taxes. Too good to be true? Well, let's check it out. Financial freedom for me is when you have enough money to afford a certain lifestyle until the end of your life. So basically until you die.
A bit dramatic, isn't it?
And of course, you know that you have this money right now. So for example, if I had 10 millions in my bank account right now, probably I wouldn't be doing this video. Let's make it more clear with an example, shall we? This is Fred. I generated him on DALL-E. He's a computer programmer and he's 30 years old. He needs $3,000 per month to live his lifestyle. As you can see, he's got a computer, he's drinking fancy coffee, and he gotta pay for a rent. So 3,000 times 12, that's gonna be 36,000 a year. Life expectancy for a man like that, let's say it's around 80 years. So he's got a long journey ahead of him of 50 years. So if he needs 36,000 per year and he's gonna live for another 50 years, he's gonna need $1.8 million to retire. Let's make it 2 million just to be safe. If you had that money right now, you could say that you're financially free. Now that's obviously not the case because you're watching this very video to find out how to reach financial freedom, isn't it? I want to break up this video today in 4 sections. How to achieve financial freedom. Then I want to talk about taxes and how to use them and benefit from them while you have a corporation. Also, I want to talk about investing. And last but not least, I want to talk about emergency funds and why they are so important for a freelancer. Achieving financial freedom. To achieve financial freedom, you need to have $2 million in your bank account or in investments or in real estate. Doesn't matter. You need to be worth $2 million. To be able to do that, your income needs to be higher than your expenses. And when that happens, the excess amount is compounding in the direction of those $2 million. In the previous video of the series, I talked about the difference of being a freelancer versus being a permanent employee. If you remember, I said that as a freelancer, you're able to make 3 times more cash flow than as an employee. So just by doing freelancing, it's already good because you're gonna be compounding more money towards your goal of financial freedom. Let's get back to our whiteboard and do some more estimations. It's not unusual for a senior freelance Java software engineer to make $100 per hour. If you're in your 30s, that means you're senior already. You work 40 hours a week from Monday to Friday. That's gonna be $4,000 per week. Let's say you work 4 weeks in a month. That's gonna be $16,000 per month. Let's say you're a hardworking crazy bastard and you work 12 months in a year with no holidays. You're gonna be able to make $192,000 a year. That's almost $200,000 a year. That is gross income per year, the one before taxes. Imagine you have your company based in a tax haven and you pay 0% in taxes on that income. Your lifestyle costs $3,000 per month. That's gonna be $36,000 a year. That means you can save up to $156,000 a year. I mean, that's crazy. Now, if you divide 2 million, which is the total amount of money that you want to reach, per 156,000, you will have 12.8 years. So basically that means that you gotta hustle for 12.8 years, almost 13 years, to reach those 2 millions. So looks like our good friend Fred is gonna retire by 42. Pretty cool, right? But let's say you don't have your corporation based in a tax haven and you have to pay your taxes. If you had read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, you probably know about the 4 quadrants. But if you haven't, I'm gonna give you a brief overview about it. So in that book, Robert Kiyosaki explains there are basically 4 quadrants. ESBI, where E stands for employee, S stands for small business or solopreneur, basically a freelancer. B stands for big business, like a company with more than 10,000 employees. And I stands for investor. An investor here can be a corporation that is specialized in investing or a very big investor, like an institutional investor, for example. Why am I saying this? When you work as a freelancer, you are in the S quadrant. So that means that you are a very small corporation. As I mentioned before, some countries have 0% corporate taxes. For example, in the United Emirates, if you earn up to $270,000 a year, you pay 0 taxes. While other countries have very small corporate taxes, such as Ireland, Hungary, or even Cyprus. They have taxes around 10%. Of course, I'm not an accountant or even an expert in taxes or anything like that. All I'm telling you is my research that I did through the years. It's not the scope of the video to tell you about which country you need to open your corporation or how to do it. But if you want, you can always leave me a message in the comments below. I will try to help you out since I answer each and every comment. If you were going to be an employee, you would be probably paying way above 30 or even 40 or even 50% of your salary. As you can see, by having your corporation, you can take advantage of taxes and be more efficient financially. For example, everything that you purchase as a corporation can be written off from your income and be deducted from the taxes. That means that, for example, if in 1 year you made $100,000, let's say you spent $30,000 in expenses, you will not be taxed on those $30,000. Those $30,000, they're tax-free. You will only be taxed on the rest, on the 70. Everything that you see here around me, all this office, the computer, the screen, the lights, tripod, even this iPhone that I'm using to record this video was bought through my corporation. You can also write off things like education, books, trips for congresses that you might want to attend, or if you want to rent a car and you need to go to see a client. If you can prove that you're actually doing something related to your business, you can write it off in your taxes after. Why not even buying a car through your corporation? Because you need a car to move, to commute, to go to your clients, to go to the office sometimes as a freelancer. So yeah, it's all part of the game and it's all legal. So as you can see here, all of those expenses that you do as a corporation, they will be subtracted from your income before you get taxed. And this is the real power, because when you're an employee, you first pay the taxes to everybody and then the rest is your salary. When you're a corporation, you first deduct everything and you pay the taxes last. If there's anything I want you guys to learn from this video today is get an accountant. This will make all the difference when it comes to writing off expenses and knowing your boundaries of what's legal and what's not legal, what you can do and what you cannot do. And essentially the accountant will be able to optimize your company financially and bring more money to investing. In the beginning of this video, I talked about spending less to save up more and finally reach up for those $2 million. What if I tell you if there is a shortcut? Investing is taking money that you have right now, putting it in an asset that will generate value over time in the pursuit of getting richer. It's like planting a tree today, giving it food, water, shelter, sun, and expecting it in the future to give you fruits so you can make a juice or maybe a cocktail. Remember that when you're freelancing, you are not contributing to any pension schemes. You're a business. So you want to hedge against that. So in the future, you have something to live with. This is the financial freedom we're all talking about here. For some people, saving or investing means putting money under the mattress, but that's a horrible idea. Just like as leaving your money in a savings account that has a very low interest rate and it's not even covering inflation. So you end up losing your money to inflation. The inflation in the United States right now, it's around 7.75%. A normal savings account will have a return of around 3% a year, so that's less than half. Money loses value over time, and you really don't want that happening with your money. What you do want is that the money that you invest keeps growing and making more money while you sleep. You really have a lot of options here. You can hire a financial expert that's gonna manage your money and manage your portfolio and try to invest it in the smartest way. You can also do it yourself. You can buy certain stocks, or you can invest in index funds and hope for the best. You can also buy gold, silver, or any other commodities. You can invest in your own business. You can invest in a YouTube channel. You can buy real estate. Anyway, the list goes on and on. There are like literally a lot of ways of investing your money. The basic rule here is that from your total of your income, you need to take at least 20%, and be aware that before you do that, you need to have already your emergency fund in place with those $18,000, because when things go bad, usually they go bad altogether, and you really don't want to sell your assets during a crisis or an economic downturn where everything is cheap and you have to sell your assets for a lower price than you bought them initially. But if you're really serious about financial freedom, you should consider living only on the minimum necessary and investing all of the rest that you have. By doing that, of course, you will achieve financial freedom way faster than investing only 20% of your income. What to invest in and how to do it is really not the scope of this video, but if you're interested in the subject, please leave a comment below. I'm gonna try to help you out. Maybe we can have a healthy discussion. And yeah, let's just share some knowledge. Emergency fund. It might seem obvious, but many freelancers, they don't have an emergency fund, and they can end up in between a rock and a hard place. As I mentioned before, freelancing can be unpredictable, and you really don't want to be living paycheck by paycheck every month. In case you can't find a project to work on the next month because the market got cold or there's a financial recession happening, it doesn't really matter the reason. The issue is that you don't have a salary to rely on, a stable income. And exactly because of that, I advise you to have an emergency fund. An emergency fund is quite simple actually. It's basically just a separate bank account that you have with a certain amount of positive cash balance that you can use in, let's say, extreme situations. So how much should you have in your emergency fund? Well, it's up to you actually. For me, it's 6 months. So basically, if I cannot find a job, I cannot get a new contract, I know that for 6 months, half a year, I'm safe. For example, if my lifestyle cost is $3,000 a month, and that includes rent, food, gym, going out with my friends, buying some clothes, for 6 months, I would need to have obviously $18,000 somewhere in a bank account. So my suggestion here is, first things first, you gotta build that emergency fund. So as soon as you start working, start saving money to create that emergency fund as soon as possible. The great thing about having an emergency fund is that you don't fear the future no more. You feel safe. You know that if anything goes wrong, you got that money waiting for you there, and you can use it to survive for a whole half a year. And that's great. So if you're working already and you don't have an emergency fund, get one. Very important. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video till the end. I hope you got some valuable information about how to achieve financial freedom as a freelancer. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and smash that like button if you like the content. The next video from the freelancing series is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be talking about tech skills for a Java freelancer. I've been working now for 3 years as a freelancer, 10 years as a Java developer, so I got a lot of luggage and a lot of knowledge to share with you, the best skills that you need to have in order to be a successful Java freelance software engineer. I want to give a shout out to Pete Sampras 7825. It's because of you that I'm making content like that. I really appreciate the comment. Love you all and see you in the next video. Ciao!